Welcome back, everyone. I'm so pumped you're joining us for today's Explainer. We're jumping straight into something that is literally reshaping the entire corporate world right now, and that is strategic big data querying and business value extraction. So we're not just staring at raw, messy data today. Nope, we are walking through a highly specialized roadmap to see exactly how you take all that chaotic information and transform it into real, tangible, actionable business value. It's going to be a fun one. Okay, here is our game plan for today. First, we'll map out the big data value pipeline. Second, we're looking at storing and querying with Hive. Third up, mining data with Mahout. Fourth, visualizing the processed results. Then, for number 5, we're getting into real-time querying with Impala. And finally, number 6, extracting true business value. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the Big Data Value Pipeline, setting the stage. To really wrap our heads around this, I want you to picture a giant, super efficient factory pipeline. Raw big data is basically just the unrefined materials rolling right into the loading dock. It's got to be processed. So step 1 on our factory floor, that is to persist and query the data using a tool called Hive. Step 2, we actually mine the data using Mahout. And finally, step 3 is where we visualize and query in real time using various reporting tools and Impala. It's a simple sequence to keep in your mind. We store it, we dig into it, and then we make it visible and lightning fast.
Moving right along to Section 2, storing and querying with Hive, building the foundation.
So this is the absolute first critical phase. Before you can extract any value whatsoever, you've got to have a rock-solid foundation to handle that initial, totally overwhelming avalanche of data. Enter the Hive Megastore. Think of this as the main warehouse of our data factory. It is the go-to environment for persisting massive amounts of raw big data. And persisting? Well, that's really just a fancy, precise way of saying we're locking it down and safely securing it so it doesn't just vanish before we get the chance to process it.
Now, to actually manage this stage, there are 3 very specific tasks you need to master in this module. First off, like we just talked about, persisting that data right in the Megastore. Second, performing queries using HiveQL. And third, investigating the actual Hive file formats. Because, you aren't just blindly storing information here. You're actually learning the underlying architecture of exactly how it's being saved. Let's actually zoom in on that middle point for a second. Performing ad hoc big data querying with HiveQL. So HiveQL is the specific dedicated query tool for this whole ecosystem. It's basically the language you use to investigate those file formats we mentioned. And, perhaps most importantly, it lets you ask ad hoc questions of those massive data sets we just parked in the Megastore. It's awesome because it essentially lets you poke and prod the raw material, case by case, to see exactly what kind of stuff you're working with.
All right, Section 3, mining data with Mahout, extracting hidden value. Okay, so now our data is safely persisted, right? Next, we move it down the pipeline to the extraction phase. We really need to dig a whole lot deeper to find those hidden patterns. And this is exactly where we apply the techniques of mining data with Mahout. You can think of Mahout as the serious, heavy-duty machinery on our factory floor. It sifts through just mind-boggling quantities of information to uncover trends and correlations, which moves us way closer to creating actual, usable business value.
Section 4, visualizing the processed results, seeing the story.
Welcome to the delivery phase. Now, look, you can have the most brilliantly mined data on the entire planet, but if your stakeholders can't actually read it or understand it, it's basically useless. So what we do is take those highly complex, processed results from our mining phase, and we use reporting tools to categorize them into clear visual metrics. Instead of making decision makers stare at, endless mind-numbing rows of raw numbers, they get a crystal clear visual breakdown. It totally bridges the gap between deep data science and everyday business strategy. In fact, to quote the source text directly here, one of the main learning objectives is visualizing processed results with reporting tools. I really want to highlight this because visualization isn't just some afterthought. It is an absolutely crucial, deliberate step in the syllabus to make the data digestible. Bottom line, if you can't translate all those extracted numbers into a clear picture, you just cannot drive smart business decisions.
Section 5, real-time querying with Impala, speeding up delivery.
Up to this point, we've talked a lot about storage, mining, and visualization. But let's be real. In today's fast-paced corporate environment, speed is absolutely critical. You just don't always have the luxury of waiting around for some massive processing job to finish.
And that brings us to a really vital distinction. Hive, it's fantastic for performing ad hoc queries on massive historical data sets. It is your heavy lifter. But Impala? Impala is used for querying in real time. It gives you that lightning-fast, immediate access you desperately need for making rapid, on-the-fly decisions.
And finally, Section 6, extracting true business value, the ultimate goal. So, it is time to bring this whole factory pipeline together. We've walked through the specialized stations, Hive, Mahout, the reporting tools, and Impala. But the ultimate why behind learning all these crazy technologies? It's all about creating tangible business value from that extracted data. Every single step we've covered is deliberately designed to take a raw, totally chaotic resource and transform it into a clear-cut competitive advantage.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly important thought to ponder today. Is your business just storing data, or are you extracting its true value? Are you just dumping tons of raw materials into a warehouse and leaving it there? Or do you have a refined, strategic pipeline in place to turn it into something invaluable? I really hope this explainer has given you a much clearer, structured view of how this big data module works. Keep exploring, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.